Good afternoon, students. So here is the first person to turn in the Illustrative Essay Part II. So I'm going to correct this person's essay, and this way you guys can then avoid making the same mistakes that she did. You'll notice that she left in the instructions from the outline. And so what you need to do is you need to delete these instructions, okay? So when you write your essay, you need to delete this, okay? Delete the instructions, delete the, because that's just part of the outline, telling you how to do the outline. So the first thing you need to do is delete the word introduction, delete the word example, topic, sentence, okay? That needs to be deleted. So she needs to delete all of these, and then she needs to put her introduction paragraph together like that. And once again, she needs to delete the instructions for the, the outline. Then you indent 5 spaces. So right now, the very first thing I'm going to do is correct her APA, which is formatting. And so then before 5, you want to indent 5 spaces, the first line of every paragraph. And then you're going to make sure that each paragraph aligns, and you indent and get rid of all of the outline words, like body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. So all of that goes away. That was just the outline to tell you how to write the essay, but you don't really need it for your rough draft. So that's the easy part, all right? Another thing is that you need to have the same font, okay? Somehow she changed fonts here. And so you need to go to Times New Roman, okay? You would select everything. And then you want to go to Times New Roman, and then you want size 12, okay? Another thing you want to do is you want to have, once again, I'm going to make sure that all of the line up. Okay, you get rid of the spaces in the middle. All right, the next thing you have to do, let's see, this needs to be its own page. So this also needs to be Times New Roman. So you have to go to like this, Times New Roman, and then size 12. And then this needs to be its own page, okay? This needs to be a separate page. So then I'm going to make this a separate page for, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think this is the next page. Yes, all right. So then you got 2, 3, 4, 5, all right. So your title page, okay, so your title page is one separate page. And you notice that now I'm going to do the double spacing. So in order to double space, okay, first I select everything. Then I press Control 2. Look what happens. Then it becomes double spaced. Then you need to center this, all right? And then I go to the center, and voila, you have a good title page. Now, in order to make all of this, now needs to be double spaced. And so now all you have to do is you select everything. Then you press on Control and the number 2 at the same time, and then it becomes double spaced. So now she has the correct APA formatting. Next thing you have to do is you got to go to Insert Page Numbers, and the page numbers should be at top. And to the side, like that. Okay, so you insert page numbers at top and to the side. And then you put your let's see if I can do this, last name. All right, put your last name on top of the page number. All right, so that should go into all the headings, and then you should have DO 3, DO 4, DO 5. So now you have correct APA. Now you have correct APA. This is the correct APA formatting. Okay, so now the formatting is perfect. Now what you need to do is now I'm going to focus on her mistakes. She needs to get rid of, she needs to write out, so we don't write out all of your contractions, okay? So you should write out all your contractions, becomes do not, all right? And then here it becomes it does not. Why do we write out our contractions? Because when we write out our contractions, it makes our paper sound more professional. Next thing she has to do is get rid of you and your. She needs to replace you and your with people or parents. In other words, you need to replace you and your and use third person case, okay? So we want to use third person case for a more professional tone. So instead of saying there are many ways to ensure your special needs child gets the most out of their education, instead you would get rid of your. There are many ways to ensure that a special needs child gets the most out of their education. And then here you want to get rid of your. 3 ways to help the special needs child receive the special education they deserve is. All right, and then you're going to combine all of these sentences together because this will be your thesis statement. Is to learn what an IEP or 504 plan is, learn how to request, and then you put a semicolon between each sentence, learn how to request an IEP, and learn how to advocate or find an advocate for the special needs child. So what I've done so far is that I got rid of all of the you and the your, and I only use third person case. And so here, what is an IEP or 504 plan? So here she did a good job with her thesis statement, because in your thesis statement, you're going to write about the 3 ways in which you solve the problem. So here she has learn what an IEP is, and then she writes about her IEP, learn how to request for an IEP, and here she says learn how to request for an IEP. So she does have a good thesis statement with matching body paragraphs, okay? And then she has advocacy, learn to advocate for your child, and here she writes about advocacy. So basically all I'm doing is I'm helping her with her APA formatting, and then helping her get rid of you and your in her essay. So what is an IEP or 504 plan? By definition, IEP stands for Individualized Education Plan. Now, if you're going to use a title, all the words in the title have to be capitalized because it's a proper noun. So we always capitalize in most cases. And then here you have a introductory phrase at the beginning of a sentence, so we put a comma. In most cases, a medical diagnosis qualifies, and we get rid of the special needs child for an IEP. So whether the special needs child has been diagnosed with autism or has a physical ailment such as a speech, visual, or hearing impairment, that would require an individualized program for that child. Although a special needs child will still go through a testing process, an official diagnosis automatically qualifies the special needs child for an IEP. In other cases where a child may struggle with ADHD or other learning disabilities but does not meet the requirements of an IEP, a 504 plan is the next option. So here she did well. So what I'm doing so far is I'm just getting rid of her you and your and replacing it with third person case. In order to start the process for the special needs child to receive special education. Then you got to get rid of you and your here. Parents have to send in a formal request for an IEP evaluation. This would be a letter sent to the special needs child's school or head of disability with the school district. This letter should include the, and so you get rid of your, the child's name, grade, and school of attendance. Also, parents. Okay, so here you're missing a subject. Parents should list any diagnosis, any current therapy or accommodations they receive at home, and a list of concerns as to why a parent feels their child needs a special education plan. Parents also have to make sure, so here you could use a in addition. Parents also have to make sure to date this document. Once you get rid of your, the child's school district has received the formal request in the state of California. They have 30 days to respond to the parent's request, and we need an apostrophe S if we're going to have possessive. Laws in other states may vary. Once received, the psychologist and district will be in contact with the parents. Okay, once again, we get rid of you, to submit a signed consent form to start testing for the special needs child. Testing should take place within 60 days of a signed consent form. Advocacy is an important part of helping the special needs child receive a special education. The special needs child biggest advocate. The special needs child's biggest advocate is their parents. An advocate's job is to make sure that any child with special needs is getting the specialized care they need, whether it be meetings, attending meetings, or speaking on the child's behalf. So we got to get rid of the you and the your. Providing and recording documentation. In instances where a parent advocate is not, we're going to write out our contractions, is not enough. A parent can seek an advocate for their child through various agencies. And so if in the event, and so I don't know what this, okay, in the event the child's special needs are not being met, having access to a good team of health professionals will ensure that the special needs child's district follows through with the required assistance. Following these three steps will help. So we get rid of your. Will help the special needs child help the special needs child get the education they deserve. Through educating themselves, so we're talking about the parents. Parents learn what an IEP or 504 plan is. Parents learn to request an IEP, and parents find the right way to advocate for their child. For their child. If parents follow all these steps, so if parents follow all these steps, they can rest assured that their child will receive the education that their child deserves. So we get rid of all of the you and the your, and then here you're going to notice that now the essay sounds so much more professional, because this week, week 3, we're going to discuss how when you write anything, you have to take into account your audience. If your audience is formal, like if you're writing for school, you need to use formal English. And when we use formal English, we use third person case. We get rid of all of our first person case, I, me, my, us, we, our. We get rid of that, and we also get rid of you, your. So we get rid of first and second person case because those are used, first and second person case are used in conversational English when you're talking with your friends and family. But when you're talking with when you're writing something for your teacher, you have to stick to formal English. So that's the main thrust of the week 3 lesson, is to learn the difference between formal and informal English. So if I'm going to be writing for an email for my best friend, sure, I can say I, you, we. But if I'm going to write that same email to my boss or to my teacher, I will stick to third person case, he, she, they. Because when you use third person case, it is the objective case. So any one of you that's in law enforcement, you already know how to write an incident report. For incident reports are written in third person case. Third person case, he, she, they, means you're writing about somebody else. And therefore, when you write about somebody else, you have to be, that's the most objective case. And so third person case is also known as the reporter case. And so when you write your case reports about patients, so you need to take out I did this, I did that, and try to use more either passive voice, or you take out the, you can even write about yourself in the third person. That way anybody can read your essay and your case report and know who did what. So if you have any questions about first, second, third person case and about tone, you can always email me. So this pretty much ends this video on correcting this particular person's illustrative essay.